morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to make this video to do a quick explanation of why I'm asking you to edit and format a Google Doc. I know we've all been using Google Docs and you might be thinking, I already know how to do this. But remember, I'm the digital literacy teacher, not the ELA teacher. So my job is not to teach you how to write, but my job is to teach you how to use the technology tools available to you to help you be a better writer. So please make sure that you're reading the directions completely and showing me that you know how to properly use a Google Doc by spell check, using the center button to center your title, not just the space bar, and changing your font type, size, and color. So if you know how to do it, you'll be finished with this assignment in 10 minutes. And if you don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So please pay attention. All right, so what you're going to do is click on an odd animal assignment directions to get started and click on the direction document. You'll need to go here in order to get to the website that we're going to use to actually create a story. So remember I said I'm not the ELA teacher. I don't want you to have to write your own story because that's a whole process and that would take a lot longer. So we're going to kind of take a shortcut to get a story and also have a little fun while we're doing it. All right, so you're going to begin by going to the Wacky Webtails website by clicking on this link. When you click on the link, it will take you out to eduplace.com, Wacky Webtails. If you like doing Mad Libs, this is exactly what it is. So you're going to fill out all of these blanks in order to create a short story. So make up a silly name, and notice the title is called an odd animal. So this is what your odd animal is going to be called, okay? Put in a color, put in another color, all right? Body part plural. I'm not going to do all this for you. I'm just going to go through it quickly. Body part plural. Plural means more than one. Singular means one. Let's say you get down here to singular. Oh, so hold on. Let me backtrack. Body part plural. So that would mean like toes, not one toe, right? Or noses, not just one nose. All right. So let's say you get down here to singular noun and you're not sure what a noun is. There are parts of speech help right here. Okay, so click on the parts of speech help. It tells you that a noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing, and it actually gives you examples. So if you can't come up with your own, feel free to use something from the example list, okay? So everything is in there. Verbs, exclamations, adjectives, nouns. Click, not back to top. We want to go back. Let's use the back arrow to go back. All right, so I'm going to put in, for a noun, a chair. Okay, so anyway, you're going to fill this out. When it gets down to large number, what I've seen in the past is people filling out that space with infinity amount of numbers. Please don't do that because it really does make your story end up looking very sloppy. So a large number could be 1,000 or 1,000,000, but here's my rule of thumb. You have to be able to read the number yourself out loud, okay? So just keep it smaller than something that you are able to read. Okay, so when you're finished filling all that out, you're going to click on the red button, see your wacky webtail. So now don't cheat because if you already know what the story is about, it kind of ruins the fun. Now that you've created your story, that's just part one of our assignment. You still haven't shown me that you know how to use a Google Doc. You've just created a story in a fun way. So now what you're going to do is copy this short story and paste it over to a Google Doc. So you're going to take your cursor. You have to start at the beginning or start at the end. You cannot start in the middle, okay? So click and drag with your cursor so that your entire story is selected, and now you're ready to copy it. So we've done this a lot in class. You can hold down Control and tap C to copy, or you can right-click with your mouse and choose Copy. They both do the same thing. Now you need to go back to Google Classroom to get the template that I started for you. And the template is where you're going to paste your story. So see under here, it says an odd animal template. You're going to click that. You're going to And by the way, notice that this one looks a little bit different from that. And the reason is because this is an assignment that must be turned in. So it has the number of turned in and the grade that it's worth, but we're not really grading. All right, so you're going to click on the template to open it up. All right, so you're going to open the template, and what's in here already is just the title. You're going to paste the story that you created into this template. So again, we did this in class already. You can hold down Control and tap the letter V to paste, or you can right-click with your mouse and choose Paste. They both do the same thing. Okay, so now here's my story, but I'm not done yet, right? My job is not to show you how to copy and paste. That's just one part of it. My job is to make sure that you know how to use the tools properly in a Google Doc. All right, so you don't need two titles, right? So I would get rid of this that's already in there. And you now, trying to move this up a little bit. You now have to follow the directions that I gave you to make this look nice. All right, so first of all, it should not all be underlined. So I'm going to select all of my text and get rid of that underlining. So notice I have B for bold and U for underline lit. That means it's turned on. So in order to get rid of it, you need to turn it off. So just click on that, turn off the underlining. I'm also going to turn off the bold. The purpose of bold, italic, and underline is to bring your attention to something. So if you have everything bold and everything underlined, that defeats the purpose of it. You can't have your attention be brought to everything, right? We just want some things to stand out. So your title, for an example, is something that we want to make stand out. So ways that we make titles stand out: we sometimes bold them, we sometimes underline them, and we sometimes center them. So here's the center button. We're going to put our title in the center. This title is already standing out because it's blue, it's larger than the rest of my text, right? How do I know that? I have it selected, and you can look up here to font size, and it's a size 38. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. I'm going to make it a 24. Okay. And if I select my story text, you can see that that is a size 11. All right. So one of the things that I ask you to do is to show me that you know how to change your font type, your font size, and your font color. So font type is this button right here. The default font type is Arial. All right, so please don't turn it into me as Arial. I would like you to change it to something other than Arial so that I know you know how to change your font type. And I also would like you to choose a font type that people can read, right? Some of them are so fancy that you really don't want to use them for an entire story, like Lobster, for an example. Lobster is a favorite. It's kind of hard to read. I would save Lobster for maybe just a title, all right? So not for an entire story. Choose a font type that is easy on the eye. Comic Sans is my favorite. Okay. Next thing I ask you to do is size. The default size is 11. You don't want to make it so small that people can't read it, right? Just like font type. If we can't read your font type, then you're really not communicating very well. So if your size is so small that we can't read it, it's useless. And if your size is so large that we can't read it without scrolling to a million pages, it's also useless. So you have to choose a size that makes sense for your audience. So it should never be smaller than an 11, and it has no business being larger than an 18 unless it's a title. Okay, but a story, a school report, a letter to somebody, stick between 11 and 14. That's a good size. Okay, The other thing I ask you to do is to indent your paragraph. So this is something that's not on your toolbar. It's on your space. It's on your keyboard. Put your cursor in front of your first paragraph and find the tab key, which is 2 keys above shift on the left side, and indent. That automatically gives you 5 spaces, which is what we do when we're writing. All right, and indent. Okay, so we've changed our font type, we've changed our font size, we've changed our font color, we underlined our title using the underline button, right? And we centered our title using the centering button. And honestly, that's all I want you to get done today. All right, so when you are finished, I know a lot of you are going to want to put a picture on this. Feel free to go ahead and insert an image. I'm not going to show you how to do that today. I know most of you already know how to do that. Next week, we're actually going to use Google Drawing and we're going to illustrate the odd animal, which is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so when you're finished, that's all I want you to show me that you know how to do. You're going to click the turn in button. I don't have the turn in button because the computer knows that I'm the owner of the document, so that wouldn't make sense. But you should have a turn in button right up here in the top right hand corner where I have that arrow. You will click turn in so that I can see that you know how to copy and paste. If you don't know how to copy and paste, you would not be able to have your story in this document. I need to know that you know how to change your font type, size, and color. I need to know that you know how to center something using the centering button. I need to know that you know how to underline something using the underline button. And I need to know that you know how to indent your paragraphs using the tab key. And that's it. All right, I hope you have a great week, guys, and I hope to see you soon.